Mosey hit me up last week and wanted to shoot a music video. He sent me this track and we had a whole plan for it. We were gonna do a bank robbery, jewelry store heist, gas station, first person angle, like hardcore Henry type of video. And then he sent me another song and said to plan for that one instead. I had a week to produce, shoot, and edit this music video. So once the money hit the bank account, this is what we did with it. We only had 3 hours at this house location to shoot outside and inside, so we had to make every minute count. For lighting, we used the Aperture 1200D with a 150 light dome. With this setup, we were able to break down the one light and move it around as needed. We used that in combination with this Zhiyun light stick as a fill light for the interior car scenes and for indoor scenes. This light is clutch because you can hide it anywhere and it has 100 watts output. We shot at this gas station that was already closed, so no one bothered us about shooting there. We set up the 1200D at the gas station and we were able to light up the whole scene with that one light. We shot this video on the Canon R5C with 3 lenses. The first lens, the 28-70 f2. Any of the medium to telephoto shots were done with that lens. That stayed on the camera most of the time. The other lens we used is the 10-20mm f4. A 10mm is already pretty wide for a full frame lens, but for some of the shots we used this 5.2mm fisheye lens to go even wider. Now, since it's a fisheye lens, it looks like this coming straight out of camera. From here, I'm applying a rectilinear, bro, I cannot say this shit. From here, I apply an equirectilinear conversion to it to make it look like this. This is the format that you need to edit VR videos in. Now from here, I use a plugin called KVR Viewer in the Fusion page of DaVinci to perfectly correct the distortion. And once it's corrected, this is how it looks. There's 0 distortion and it's wider than any lens on the market. Now, since I used Canon's dual fisheye lens, that means we shot some of these scenes in 3D. So if you guys want to see a 3D version of this music video, drop a like below. This lens gave me some of my favorite shots from the whole video. We were able to get these crazy wide tripod shots and these insane FPV gimbal shots. Speaking of gimbals, I used the RS3 Pro. This gimbal's big enough to support the 28-70 f2. This setup is pretty dang heavy. A lot of the time, if you're using a lot of gimbal shots, people will use a Ready Rig or an Easy Rig as a support system. A lot of these support systems will limit your range of motion, so you can't move as freely throughout your scene. Now, this video, all we planned was a location, get in a car, and that's about it. In combination with the fisheye lens, we used this POV helmet to give us that intro sequence. Now, we used 2 other cameras on this shoot. One is a night vision camcorder from Sony that my dad bought at Costco in 2007, and the other one's a camera that Jimmy bought for $6 at Goodwill. So Jimmy, bro, the vintage camera we used it a lot in the Anybody music video. I was wondering where you got it from.
I found it at this Goodwill. I was just doing some thrifting. I'm a big fan of the electronics section, and I came across this little Insignia camera. Super small, kind of busted from the outside, but everything was working. I think at the time I got it for like $5-6 bucks.
Really? No, $5 or $6?
I never got the chance to use it until the day of the shoot.
What I like about it is whenever we put it into a light source, the lens flare is crazy. It has this almost anamorphic looking vertical lens flare.
100%. Yeah, I think they have this very nostalgic look to it. Sometimes you can just splash a little bit of creativity using cheap gear. It worked out, man.
We also handed Mosey the camcorder so he could get his own B-roll showing his watch, showing the car. So here's the timeline of the music video. We ended up having about 41 performance takes. And from there, I'll take the clips that I like, and then I'll drag them down to the first layer. After I assembled a rough version of the video with only performance takes, I'll go back in and add B-roll. I edited this video in DaVinci Resolve Studio, and I color graded it in HDR. The color grading was really simple for this video. I just used the built-in Film Look plugin and chose the cinematic preset. Then I dropped down the intensity of the effects, and that was about it. I disabled any film grain or gate weave, any film effects, because I wanted this video to look super modern to contrast with the vintage clips. For these car scenes, I didn't have a car rig, so I just held the gimbal out the window. We got a couple usable clips. This is not the right way to shoot car rollers, but we were able to get something. This is the first episode of this series. If you haven't already, check out the music video, link in the video description, and that's about it.